Welcome to this edition of Pacific Magazine. I'm Sergeant Will Skelton. We're here in Kumpang, Indonesia for Pacific Angel 2009. It took months of planning and coordination to get this exercise up and running. Air Force service members from several locations came to provide much-needed medical, optical, and dental care to this austere location. In this edition, we'll highlight their efforts as they provide much-needed care to the people of Indonesia. Medical care is quite the hot debate these days in the U.S., but for the people of Kumpang, Indonesia, their heat comes from the sun, and their medical care is coming from doctors from thousands of miles away. And during Pacific Angel 2009, these villagers are just glad to have a doctor to see.
Well, I think one is it can see U.S. And Americans and how that we are humans as well. We want to bring messages of goodwill, peace, and build relationship with the Indonesian government, but also the local community and people as well. So that is what I see, in my opinion, our main mission here is building that relationship and that goodwill.
For these flight docs and their techs, the mission proved to be more than just fixing a few cuts and bruises. It was long, hot days with minimal equipment and lots of patients.
There's not, in this kind of setting, of course, it's not the same type of medicine we would practice in the United States with lab and radiology capabilities that we have. And so we don't get to spend as much time with each individuals, so we can go through some of the volumes, but it is quite daunting, and sometimes it is, we wish we could do more, that we had more capability to do things, more medication and whatnot, but hopefully we are making a bit of a difference.
Because the trip was only a couple of weeks in length, long-term patient care wasn't feasible for the docs. The focus was more on the short-term treatments such as colds and skin infections or minor aches and pains. But no one was turned away if they needed help.
We've advertised that we were just going to do acute care here, although we did do some blood pressure screening and other vital signs. So we did see quite a number of people with high blood pressure. And although we could not treat them here, we could refer them and make sure that they follow up with the local community doctors here.
In the U.S., when you have a toothache, you go to the dentist. But for the people of Indonesia, dentists aren't that easy to come by. So when Pacific Angel rolled into town, people came out by the hundreds. A lack of education on proper dental care has left a lot of mouths in Indonesia in some painful situations. But with the help of a few Air Force dentists, their pain freedom is just a tooth pull away.
Most of the common things are really bombed out teeth. They haven't been taking care of their teeth, so most of their molars, their back teeth, there's no crown or the top part of the tooth anymore. It's just the roots that are left. So over the years it's decayed, it's broken down. And so the teeth, the roots are left at the gum line.
The pains of the process weren't exclusive to the residents of Kumpang. The dentists and their techs also felt the heat of the scorching sun and from getting the tools they needed to do their jobs. In such a remote location, there were a few growing pains as well.
I think some of the biggest obstacles here was just trying to get all the supplies that we needed to actually provide the good care that we wanted to provide. There are some limitations, of course, of different standards, the different types of anesthetic they may use here, different types of instruments they may use here versus the States. So it's something that we need to get used to. And then, of course, we're able to get supplies, but we're limited to what they have.
The obstacles didn't prove to be too much for Captain Yo and the dental team. They treated hundreds of patients and pulled dozens of teeth. But most of all, they were there to give aid to the people of Indonesia.
I think it provides a good service for them. A lot of these people won't be able to get a lot of the medical attention, dental attention that they need. And so it's a good opportunity for them to come, and also builds a good, strong relationship between the image of the U.S. and U.S. military.
For Captain Yo, it was more than just coming out to pull a few teeth. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I love it. It's great. It's a great opportunity to meet different types of people, see how well we have it in the States, how other people live and how they endure or get their medical care.
One thing we take for granted in the U.S. is our easy access to medical care. But that access isn't so easy for the people of Kumpang. But with the help of a few Air Force opticians, they're beginning to see things a bit more clearly. Something as simple as a pair of glasses can ultimately change a person's life. After sometimes years of blurry faces and relying on others to support them, glasses can open up a world of opportunity for the vision impaired.
Well, here basically we're doing simple screenings to make sure they have good neurological integrity and that the internal health of the eye is in good shape. We do outside screening for any health problems. We try and get within the closest proximity we can for prescriptions without getting overly minutely in depth because they don't have the equipment or the means for the glasses to do so. And the biggest thing, of course, is conditions here. You know, we're a little bit hotter, but we have good help and great people to work with, so it makes it easier for us.
Some got glasses, others just a nifty pair of sunglasses, but all received treatment. Some, though, will have to go further to correct their afflictions.
Cataracts are the big thing, normal what we expect in the aged, but we're seeing a lot of cataracts at the young ages also, mostly from trauma. Other than that, the pathology has been pretty quiet here from what I've seen before. And the cataract surgery is available here in this country, which is nice, so whether you have the means, money-wise, or no means, you can get cataract surgery here within 2 to 3 days of getting complete health screening. So it's a pretty good setup from what I understand.
Even though hundreds came out to the makeshift clinics, the docs and techs were able to keep things in relative order. But the only way they were able to do that was with the help of some dedicated translators.
Without them, we couldn't exist. They are top-notch. They've been very good for us. They've helped us along every step of the way. And not only that, also our guards out front. They've been very good as far as crowd control and maintaining an even temper with everybody. Without the translators, we would be dead in the water, literally. Do you have a one with a 2x4 or no?
And with that said, Major Bowick was back to work helping the people of Kumpang. Another important aspect of the exercise didn't come in the form of medical care. It came as sweat mixed with a little cement. And with the help of a few airmen from Guam, Pacific Angel 2009 was able to bridge the gap between the United States and Indonesia. Pacific Angel 2009 wasn't only about healing the sick, pulling teeth, and supplying glasses. For a few engineering airmen from the 254th Red Horse Squadron, it was long hot days of construction and education for the local handymen of the small refugee village of Obelo.
This is unlike anything I've ever seen in the United States, so they're real happy that we're here helping them. They know why we're here already, so the community, as you can see, is getting involved in this project, and it's real good. We're working hand in hand, no problems.
Bag after bag after bag of cement was tossed into a mixer to make concrete for the foundation. Mortar was also mixed for retention walls.
We're helping the local community repair a bridge that's been damaged by floods. We've incorporated U.S. standard type construction along with the local building skills for the reconstruction of this bridge, pretty much.
Working in the same spot for the entire exercise made the crews easy to spot every day, so crowds would tend to form. But that gave the airmen ample opportunity to do arguably the most important thing the engineers did while there, teaching the villagers better methods of building.
I think it brings the community together. We noticed when we first started, everybody was standing back just watching, and just watching how we do our construction versus their construction. It's a lot different. We use a lot of different materials and a lot of different techniques for vertical building, and they're just standing back. But within a day or two, they're starting to get into it and understand. And as we go along, we explain the reason why we do it, and we build it this way.
During Pacific Angel 2009, Air Force doctors and technicians treated patients in remote villages. In addition to that effort, they also took time to teach Indonesian flight doctors on how to conduct a mass casualty air evacuation drill. Like educating them on construction, service members participating in Pacific Angel 2009 also taught the Indonesian military on how to react in a crisis situation. And all it took was a plane and a team of dedicated airmen.
I was in charge of doing a CASEVAC subject matter exchange with the Indonesian military and local civilian healthcare providers. My job was to train approximately 25 Indonesian Army, Indonesian Air Force, Navy, and a few local civilian providers in the principles of casualty evacuation, the way we in the U.S. Air Force do casualty evacuation, using, in this case we decided to use a C-130 because it's the plane that the Indonesian military has available.
The team set up a variety of trauma scenarios on 5 different patients, ranging from an abdominal wound to a broken arm and a burn victim. But medical treatment wasn't the setback the CASEVAC team ran into.
The biggest problem we had is they had designed the patient so they knew by looking which patient was which, so they didn't have to go up in the field and assess it. They say, that's abdominal injury. That didn't work as well for us, but we tried to mix them up so they couldn't figure it out, but they figured it out right away.
In spite of them having a leg up on the types of injuries to treat, the CASEVAC team kept them on their toes with on-the-spot critiques. But in the end, the team seemed satisfied with the class's efforts.
They perform very well. They have differences that we don't have in our military. Their system and training is designed for speed. So they grab and go. They pick up patients. We in the field will assess more, maybe treat more in the field. Their system is designed to pick up the patient quickly and transport to the hospital.
The CASEVAC was one of the last events during Pacific Angel 2009, but it was clearly evident that a bond between the U.S. and Indonesian militaries was forged. And that wraps up this edition of Pacific Magazine. I'm Sergeant Will Skelton. We'd like to send a special thank you out to all the Pacific Angel teams and to the people of Kumpang. From all of us here in Indonesia, thanks for watching.
But we have good help and great people to work with, so it makes it easier for us.